Scorpios are undeniably captivating, not because they try to be, but because their presence carries weight. They are often described as one of the zodiac's most powerful and intriguing signs, and over time, many Scorpios become aware of the intensity they bring into rooms, relationships, and conversations. Not everyone knows how to hold that depth, and Scorpio knows this. So instead of shrinking themselves, they become discerning. They learn what to share, when to speak, and who has earned access to their inner world because they understand something most people don't. What they feel, think, and commit to carries consequence. Today, we're going to explore some lesser discussed facets of Scorpio, parts that are not so stereotypical but quietly shape how Scorpios move through life. For Scorpio, life is rarely lived halfway. They don't dabble in belief, they don't lightly attach, and they don't commit without meaning it. When a Scorpio believes in something, a person, a principle, a purpose, they invest fully, emotionally, energetically, psychologically. This all or nothing nature fuels their loyalty, determination, and depth, but it can also make flexibility difficult. Internally, Scorpios often experience emotions in absolutes. Something feels right or wrong, safe or unsafe, aligned or deeply off. And love is no exception. When a Scorpio loves, they love with devotion and intensity that is difficult to match. Their loyalty runs deep, often far deeper than they ever verbalize, but betrayal hits just as intensely. Not because Scorpios are vindictive by nature, but because the depth of the bond magnifies the wound. When trust is broken, the emotional polarity flips. The same intensity that once held love now holds grief, anger, or withdrawal. Not everyone sees this transition, but Scorpio feels every ounce of it. Many Scorpios grow up being told they're too intense, too petty, too serious, too emotionally aware. Over time, they adapt. They learn to observe before revealing, to read the emotional temperature of a room, to adjust their expression without losing their core. This is where Scorpio's mirroring ability develops. They reflect back the energy they're met with, not as manipulation, but as instinctive self-protection. It's a way of assessing safety, power dynamics, and emotional truth. But when Scorpio encounters someone who matches their depth, someone authentic, emotionally present, and unafraid, the mask dissolves. And in those moments, you don't meet a restrained Scorpio. You meet the real one. I'll give you a real life example of what this looks like. In high school, I threw a birthday party for my Scorpio friend. It wasn't anything extravagant. I gathered our friends, and since we didn't have our driver's licenses yet, we took the bus together to go sing karaoke. I also bought her a chocolate cake that I hid underneath my jacket. When my birthday came around, she didn't just return the effort, she amplified it. She got all of my friends to lie straight to my face, telling me they couldn't hang out on my birthday. I remember feeling disappointed, thinking it was just going to be a quiet day. Then she told me she was taking me somewhere. She got her friend's mom, yes, not her mom, but her friend's mom, to drive me to the destination. And the moment I walked in, everyone was there, waiting, smiling, yelling surprise. She got me a proper birthday cake you actually have to order in advance, not like the quick grab and go kind I had gotten from the grocery store. But she didn't stop there. She had everyone sign a customized birthday card with photo pages. Each page was a photo of each friend holding a sign that spelled out happy birthday just for me. And the thing is, I hadn't done anything like that for her. That's the thing about Scorpio energy. They don't mirror effort in a straight line. They mirror it symbolically. They feel the emotional weight of what you did and then return it at the level they felt it and much, much more. Scorpios are deeply attuned to reciprocity. They believe that energy circulates, that actions echo, not in a vengeful way, but in a moral one. Because of this, Scorpios often empathize with people others label as villains. They recognize that behind harmful behavior is often pain, betrayal, or powerlessness. This doesn't excuse damage, but it explains it. Scorpio understands that most evil is born from wounds left unattended. This is why they're drawn to shadow characters, anti heroes, and morally complex figures. They see the humanity beneath the actions because they've explored their own darkness enough to recognize it in others. To Scorpio, a villain is often a broken hero who lost their way. Scorpios don't surround themselves with people lightly. They choose carefully, quietly, with intention. It's not about numbers or popularity, it's about depth, trust, and authenticity. They can be drawn to the underdogs, the ones overlooked or underestimated, those who carry strength beneath the surface. Scorpio recognizes the hidden story, the quiet resilience, and they quietly invest in it. At the same time, they cannot stand inauthenticity, pretenses, small talk that doesn't matter, or false displays of kindness. Scorpio senses it immediately. They step away. Their energy is not for appearances, it is reserved for those who are real, who carry truth in their words, actions, and intentions. This is why Scorpio friendships are rare but profound. When they choose you, they see you fully, your depth, your flaws, your strength, and they mirror care in ways that often go unnoticed by anyone else. They don't just show up, they amplify the moments that matter. They lift you quietly, fiercely, and with the same intensity they carry in everything they do. Scorpios are natural observers of the human psyche. They read between words, they sense emotional undercurrents, they notice what others avoid. Yet, despite this deep understanding of others, Scorpios often feel profoundly misunderstood themselves. When they speak, they're communicating layered meaning, emotion, intention, history all at once. But many people listen only at the surface. Over time, this leads to disappointment, feeling unseen, misinterpreted, emotionally flattened. So Scorpio retreats, not out of coldness, but self preservation. They guard their inner world carefully, waiting for someone who doesn't just hear them, but feels them. Scorpio lives at the intersection of strength and vulnerability. Their intensity is their greatest asset and also the source of their isolation. They crave depth, truth, and emotional intimacy, yet struggle to find people willing or able to meet them there. So they learn to stand alone if necessary, but they never stop longing for resonance. When Scorpio finds it, even once, it changes them. Closing. In the end, Scorpios embody the beauty and complexity of the human experience. They feel deeply, they love fiercely, they navigate life with emotional courage most people never develop. To understand a Scorpio is to embrace both light and shadow, because real connection doesn't come from avoiding depth, it comes from being willing to enter it.